Have you ever wondered how animals helped build the world we live in today? It might sound strange, but without livestock, like camels, cows, sheep, goats, horses, and chickens, human history would be very different. These animals didn't just give us food. They helped us farm, travel, trade, and even build entire cities. Today, we're going on a journey through time to see how livestock shaped human civilization, from ancient herders to modern farms. Let's get started. In the beginning, people survived by hunting wild animals and gathering plants. They moved from place to place, always searching for food. But around 10,000 years ago, something big happened. In a region called the Fertile Crescent, an area in the Middle East, people started to stay in one place. Why? Because they learned how to raise animals. The first animals to be domesticated were goats and sheep. People noticed that some animals were calmer and easier to manage. They started keeping these animals near their homes, feeding them and protecting them. Over time, these animals became tamer. This new idea, domestication, was life-changing. Instead of hunting for food every day, people could now get milk, meat, wool, and hides from animals they raised themselves. Soon after goats and sheep, people domesticated pigs and cattle too. These animals provided even more food and helped families survive during hard times. Domestication also made farming possible. With animals around, people could stay in one place, grow crops, and build villages. This was the beginning of agriculture and the start of human civilization. Next, let's meet the animals that helped make it all possible. Let's start with an animal that's not livestock, but was the very first to join human life. That animal was the dog. Dogs were domesticated from wolves, possibly as far back as 30,000 years ago. They helped with hunting, guarded camps, and became loyal friends. People and dogs worked together, long before any animals were raised for food. But when it comes to true livestock, the first animals were goats, sheep, and cattle. Cattle were first domesticated from wild animals called aurochs in the Middle East and Europe. Another type, called zebu, came from India and could handle hot, dry weather. Cows gave people so much: milk, meat, leather, and muscle. In many ancient societies, they pulled plows and carts, making farming much easier. Cattle also became a sign of wealth and power. Even today, in some places, the number of cows you own still shows how rich you are. Sheep were also among the first animals to be domesticated. They were perfect for early farmers because they gave meat, milk, and wool. Over time, people bred sheep to produce better wool. One famous breed is the Merino sheep from Spain, known for its super soft wool. That wool became a major part of trade in Europe for hundreds of years. Goats are tough animals. They can survive in places that are too dry or rocky for other livestock. That's why they became so popular in places like the Middle East, Africa, and India. Goats gave people milk, cheese, meat, and hides. They're also easy to keep because they eat almost anything and don't need much space. Horses came later, but they changed the world in a big way. First, domesticated on the grassy steppes of Central Asia, horses became the fastest and strongest way to travel on land. They pulled carts, helped people farm, and later became essential in war. One famous breed is the Arabian horse, known for its speed and endurance. It was used in trade, racing, and even royal ceremonies. Chickens were first domesticated in Southeast Asia more than 8,000 years ago. People raised them for eggs, meat, feathers, and religious rituals. As they spread across the world, chickens became one of the most common farm animals. Popular breeds include Leghorns, which are great egg layers; Rhode Island Reds, known for both meat and eggs; Cornish Cross, used in most modern chicken farms for meat. Ducks and turkeys were also raised in different parts of the world. In ancient China, people kept ducks for eggs, while turkeys were important to Native American cultures. Each of these animals started in a different part of the world, but together they became partners in building human history. Up next, let's see how livestock powered the first great civilizations. Once people had animals to help them, everything started to change. Livestock gave families a steady source of food, milk, meat, and eggs, but they also gave something just as important: muscle power. Animals like oxen, buffalo, and donkeys helped people plow the land. This made it much easier to grow crops like wheat and barley. Farmers could grow more food than they needed, and that extra food could feed more people. With more food, people had time to do other things, like building homes, making tools, trading goods, or creating art. Villages grew into towns, and towns became the first cities. Places like Mesopotamia, ancient Egypt, and the Indus Valley thrived thanks to animal-powered farming. In Egypt, for example, oxen helped grow grain along the Nile River, which supported a powerful kingdom for thousands of years. Animals also helped people carry things. Donkeys and camels transported grain, water, and goods across long distances. This made trade between villages and regions much easier. And it wasn't just about farming. Livestock helped shape entire economies. People started selling wool, leather, meat, and live animals in early marketplaces. Owning livestock was not just useful. It became a way to build wealth. From the dirt of the farm to the walls of mighty cities, livestock powered the rise of civilization. Next, we'll explore how animals helped connect the world through trade and travel. As civilizations grew, people began to travel and trade with others far away. And once again, livestock made this possible. Let's start with one of the most famous trade routes in history, the Silk Road. This ancient network connected China, the Middle East, and Europe. But how did traders carry their goods across thousands of miles, including hot deserts and rocky mountains? They used animals, especially camels. Camels were known as the ships of the desert. They could walk for days without water, carry heavy loads, and handle the burning sun. The Bactrian camel, with 2 humps, was perfect for cold desert regions in Central Asia. Camels carried not only silk, spices, and gold, they also moved livestock products like wool, hides, and even live animals. Sheep and goats were also valuable trade animals. Traders brought different breeds to new areas, which helped grow farming in places like Europe and North Africa. Now let's travel to the Americas. Before European explorers arrived, Native American cultures raised animals like turkeys, llamas, and alpacas, but they didn't have cows or horses yet. That changed in the 1500s when the Spanish brought horses and cattle to the New World. These animals quickly spread across the land and transformed life for many people. In the American West, cattle became a huge part of the economy. In the 1800s, cowboys moved millions of cattle from ranches in Texas to railroads in Kansas. These long journeys were called cattle drives, and they were an important part of the Wild West. Today, livestock still connect the world through global trade, but it all started with ancient animals walking across deserts, grasslands, and mountains. Up next, we'll look at how livestock played a role in religion, war, and culture all around the globe. Livestock didn't just feed us or help us farm. They became a part of our religions, stories, and even our wars. Let's start with religion. In India, cows are considered sacred in religions like Hinduism, Jainism, and Buddhism. They are symbols of life, kindness, and motherhood. In many parts of India, cows are allowed to roam freely, and people feed them as a sign of respect. In ancient Egypt, animals were linked to gods. Bulls were worshipped in some temples, and livestock were often buried with pharaohs for the afterlife. In Judaism and Islam, rules about how to treat animals and how to prepare meat like kosher and halal, are still followed today. Even chickens played a role in spiritual life. In some cultures, they were used in rituals or sacrifices to bring good luck or ask for rain. Now let's talk about war. One animal changed the way battles were fought forever: the horse. Once people learned to ride horses, they could move faster, travel farther, and fight more powerfully. Chariots, used in Egypt and Mesopotamia, were early war machines pulled by horses. Later, cavalry units, soldiers on horseback, became key parts of armies around the world. The Mongol Empire, led by Genghis Khan, used horses to build the largest land empire in history. Other animals also played roles in battle. Elephants were used in wars in India and by Hannibal during his famous march across the Alps. Their size and strength terrified enemy troops. Livestock weren't just tools, they became symbols of power, courage, and even the divine. From the battlefield to the temple, animals have always held a special place in human life. Coming up, let's take a look at the modern livestock industry and how it feeds the world today. Today, livestock farming is more important and more advanced than ever before. Across the globe, people raise billions of animals for food, clothing, and trade. Modern farms use science and technology to raise animals more efficiently. For example, robots now help milk cows in high-tech dairies. Automatic feeders give chickens and pigs the right amount of food. GPS collars help ranchers track cattle over huge grasslands. There are two main types of livestock farms today. Commercial farms, which raise animals on a large scale to feed millions. Small family farms, which often mix animals with crops and focus on local markets. Let's take a quick look at some of the top livestock products in the world. Beef and dairy from cattle. Eggs and meat from chickens. Lamb and wool from sheep. Goat milk and meat. Poultry, especially chicken, is the most commonly consumed meat worldwide. Countries trade livestock and their products across oceans. For example, Brazil and the US are leading beef exporters. India is the world's largest producer of milk. China leads in pork and poultry production. Even rare and ancient breeds are being protected. Some farmers are bringing back heritage animals like Highland cattle, silky chickens, and Karakul sheep, which are adapted to harsh climates or have special traits. But modern livestock farming also brings challenges like pollution, animal health, and climate change. That's why many farmers are working on sustainable practices like using less water, rotating grazing land, or feeding animals with eco-friendly food. From ancient huts to smart barns, livestock continues to feed the world and shape how we live. In our final section, we'll explore how animals still influence the future of farming and human life. So, what does the future look like for livestock and for us? As the world's population keeps growing, we'll need more food, but we'll also need to take care of the planet. That's where innovation and tradition come together. Farmers and scientists are finding new ways to raise animals. Some are using vertical farms to grow animal feed in tall buildings using less land. Others are turning to lab-grown meat and plant-based alternatives to reduce pressure on animals and the environment. In Africa and Asia, small farms are combining livestock with solar power and crop farming to create self-sustaining systems. Genetic research is helping create healthier animals that need less medicine and produce more milk, eggs, or meat. But many experts also say we must protect native and heritage breeds which are better adapted to local climates and don't rely on high-tech care. And let's not forget, livestock are more than just food. They support millions of families, help build strong local economies, and play a role in culture, traditions, and even climate resilience. Goats in dry regions, for example, can survive where crops can't grow, helping people through droughts. As we move into the future, the way we treat animals, raise them, and live alongside them will shape not just farms, but entire societies. From ancient times to tomorrow's world, livestock remain part of our journey. They helped build civilization, and they're still helping us move forward. They have given us food, clothing, transportation, and even companionship. They've helped build nations, shape cultures, and connect people across the world. And as we look ahead, animals will still play a key role in how we feed, build, and care for the planet. Now it's your turn to be part of the story. Did you learn something new today? Which animal do you think had the biggest impact on human civilization? Or maybe you're raising animals yourself. Tell us your story in the comments. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more videos about history, farming, and the future of animals. And share this with someone who loves animals or is curious about how they've shaped our world. Thanks for watching. And remember, behind every great civilization, there's a herd of hard-working animals.